Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo, and I am here with the review for Ready to Love Season 7. Are we on episode 12 now? I'll have the number right. Y'all know how I do, but technically, I'm not late because let's see, what time is it in Texas? It is Saturday it's 11:15. If I finish this review before midnight, I'm on time. I'm still technically on time. But I'm sorry, you guys. I know it's late in the hour. Y'all probably won't get this review till Sunday, but I work night shift now, so I'm sleep all day. And when I get up, I'm eating, I'm working out, I'm trying to get stuff done before I have to go back to work again. So yeah, I'm at work now. I'm gonna tell y'all how much I love y'all. I'm watching the show on my phone, and then I'm like conveniently getting up every 15 minutes or so I can come out here, do a little bit of the review, and then I go back in. Don't tell nobody. I'm gonna sneak back in there in just a minute, but I don't want to have to watch the whole thing, have to fish through all of these notes, because it actually takes me longer to do it that way. I like to kind of review it as I watch. It goes so much faster. It's so much better for me. So let's talk about the show though. Okay. So I'm about to clown. I'm just letting y'all know now. So when we get to the very beginning of the episode, we pick up where we left off with finding out who's going home. And y'all, when they looked at them two and they said Suan, I was like, so glad. Hey, I'm glad about it. So glad. I broke out into a choir by myself. I was so glad that Suan was going home. I don't have anything against Suan. I think she's a beautiful woman, but I feel like the writing has been on the wall. Her and Blake are a match. They are a match for each other. While it would be cool for them to make it to the end because it would be an actual couple making it to the end, this always happens on Ready to Love. There's always like somebody who puts their bets in early. They like each other fairly early. They don't really give a whole lot of other people a chance. And they usually don't make it to the very end of the line. One of them ends up usually going home. So this is kind of par for the course. This always happens. So I was wondering what Blake was going to do. And I'll just go ahead and say Blake ended up about 10 minutes into the episode saying that he was going to go ahead and leave early, talk to nephew Tyler Perry and see what is going to go on with him moving forward. Now, if I was Blake, call me an N-word, baby, because I would have stayed. I would have been on some nigga behavior. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know. I would have stayed right there in that house the whole weekend collecting tea, not really having any interest, knowing I didn't have no interest, but I'm not going to waste a vacation. I done already got my PTO and I'm staying. Okay, y'all done got me out here to the swamps. I'm staying at the swamps. I've been in the pool. I would have been eating that charred grilled chicken that Tony got on the grill. I would have did all of that. So, but Blake, he's a gentleman. So he went on home. Or he gonna talk to nephew Tyler Perry. He went ahead and left early. So after that, we have, what is this? I'm sorry, y'all, my phone. We got Morgan in the kitchen. Morgan seems to be in some kind of distress. I mean, even if she was cutting, I was looking at her like, is she okay? She seems agitated. She seems a little disheveled as well. She just doesn't seem like herself. And Lyndon is noticing that Morgan is agitated and said that, she's feeling anxious around Tony. She's probably feeling like uncomfortable around him. Like she's having to force something when it comes to Tony. And Tony all up on her while she cooking, talking about, yeah, my baby know I like to eat. Ain't that right, baby? You know I like to eat. I said, bleh. I just, Sometimes the sexual innuendo is like sexy on here, but Tony right there, I was just like, I don't like it. And how she know you like to eat, Morgan? Do you know that? Or I mean, you go ahead and let her, I mean, we all grown. Do you already know that? And is that why he started acting crazy? You done gave him a little bit of the, you know what okay, let's move on. Let's move on. So anyway, we got everybody getting in the pool, jumping in the pool. I was jealous because y'all, I don't know how to swim. Every year I say this is going to be my year, but I really done messed up this time because the area I'm in, ain't no YMCA over here. There's no YMCA and I can't find anybody to teach adult swimming lessons. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to learn how to swim before this year is out. I really do mean that, y'all. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. Put it out there for me. So I'm jealous of everybody jumping in the pool. We have Pratt. he is really trying to figure out what he's going to do because he's got these two women and they're both wifey material. I want a list of things that Pratt feels like is wifey material because I need to examine his logic. And honestly, when men say that I'm wifey material, I actually get a little bit nervous depending on what type of man is saying it, because sometimes wifey material means you look like just the type of woman I can dog out and you'll be okay with it. But I think in Pratt's case, he is very serious. Like, he feels like both of them could be a wife to him or a wife to somebody. You know, they wife material. So I guess that material can go around. But he's really feeling Cynthia. He's talking to Cynthia. He's talking to Jeffrey. I think him and Cynthia are aware that they do have a very good connection. But I do feel like Pratt likes Jeffrey a little bit more. So then we move on from them and we see Anthony talking to Mercedes. They're pretty much addressing the fact that their connection is not really what either of them thought it was going to be. They're both going to end up being friends. Mercedes admits that Anthony really has his life and everything together, and it's intimidating to her. It's interesting that Mercedes is talking about this because I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine recently who was dating somebody, and I was asking her, like, was it the fact that he was like different from other people you were dating? And she said to me that it wasn't so much that he was different, it's that she was open to receive the things that he was giving her because she is where she wants to be in her life. And she said that with guys, she always felt like she wasn't enough. She didn't have herself together enough. She needed to get her life in a certain place in order to feel worthy of certain things when it came to them. And it's so interesting because now is the conversation that's going on that men don't really care about, you know, whether or not you have certain things together in your life, at least on the career or the financial tip. And so it's just interesting, the conversations and the dynamics that are going on now and how sometimes we as women feel within ourselves and what we need to have together. Mercedes, though, she seems to more so be talking about not only things she wants to do in life, but also just kind of her mindset. Like, Anthony already has a daughter. He's probably looking for somebody who, even if he's not looking for a mother per se, you are looking for somebody that, you know, your daughter can look up to. And Mercedes does seem like more of a girl who wants to be with somebody. They, you know, have fun, have a good time, do some traveling, not really settling down and doing some of those like more serious things quite yet. To which Anthony may be ready to do those things. So she was honest with him. Anthony appreciates it. He asked her if she was running from what she was afraid of. Not really. She's running from what she knows she's not compatible with. And I think that's a good thing. That is a good thing in the long run. So they both agree on that. So now Anthony is really focused on his thing with Cynthia. You know, Sue-Ann's gone. And so Cynthia comes out, and Cynthia is really trying to be very reserved and very conservative around these guys, even when they're pushing up on her, which is cute. You know, I admire her for that, but girl, I don't know how you do it, baby. They would have wore me down by now. Not Pratt, not necessarily him, but you know, if what I was liking was around there. So Anthony is in the water. And they are talking amongst each other and talking about their connection. He's aware that she has another connection, but he knows that Cynthia's smart. She's grown. She's going to make the decision that she needs to make. And then she says something like, you know, I don't want everybody to be, because I don't want people to be mad when they come to our wedding. Or she makes some kind of little smart comment. He starts off kissing her on the cheek, but then he kisses her on the mouth. And y'all, I don't know. It wasn't even no drastic like tongue kiss or nothing like that, but I don't know. I was intrigued. Y'all know how I get when people start kissing and doing stuff on TV. I'll be like, now what's going on here? I think because she was so shy about it, she was just like, I'm going to kick your ass. Because I guess they agreed that they were not going to do that until they really had, you know, chosen who they were going to deal with. And I think Anthony is letting her know, I chose. I don't know if you chose, but I chose. So she's very bashful about the whole thing. But she kisses him again, though. So she wasn't that bashful. And I couldn't tell if Pratt was actually out there or if they were filming it like he was out there. I don't really know. But what I do know is if Pratt got upset with Mercedes about the Covey, then he gonna get upset with Cynthia if he's sitting out there watching them kiss. He just seemed like the type to get irritated by that. But we're gonna see. I'm still watching the episode, so we're gonna see what was happening. But I liked it. I liked it. I was with it. I rewound it so I could watch it twice. Well, what did y'all think about all the interactions in the beginning? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm about to cuss twice in the review. I know I normally don't do this, but Tony, if you don't sit your ass down, talking about, okay, so the doorbell rings and Tony gonna say he thought Marcy was about to bust through the door. Why would Marcy bust through this door? Now, I know strange things have happened. I know nephew Tyler Perry will pull a fast one. Excuse my car, y'all. I know nephew Tyler Perry will pull a fast one, but Marcy is not coming back to this process. What are you talking about, Tony? See, that let me know you don't really want Morgan for real. You want Marcy to come back there for no other reason, probably just to cause some competition, because you don't really like Marcy either, if you ask me. But Marcy is back in Miami. She got her got to be glued out. She about to get another wig going on that head, and she going out on some more dates. She ain't thinking about y'all. But anyway, it's a messenger with a message. And the messenger is letting them know that they got to make some candles for their connections, which is cute. I really would like to do a little I'm gonna look that up. I want to do a little candle making class myself. So they're gonna make these candles, and it's Tony, Jeffrey, and Anthony in a group making their candles, and Tony is failing miserably. Anthony is doing pretty well. He strikes me as an arts and crafts type of dude. And you know, when you got girls, you know, y'all be doing stuff like that anyway. So them dads know what they doing. When it comes to certain activity. Plus, he says he loves candles. He has them all throughout his home, so he kind of gravitated towards it. Meanwhile, Tony about to set the whole place on fire, just like he was doing that chicken. But I like my chicken extra crispy anyway, so I didn't mind the flames. But you know what I'm saying? It looked like he didn't know what he was doing on that grill either. All right, y'all. I'm going to try to finish this rest of this review up in like 15 minutes because I really do need to go back into work. I can't keep peeking my head outside these doors. YouTube is cool, but this paycheck right here, I can't give up. I cannot give up. Okay, so I'm really trying to get my thoughts together. I did take some notes, but even my notes are all over the place because I'm so frustrated with Morgan. I'm frustrated with Tony too, but I'm more frustrated with Morgan. Okay, let me get it together. So first, let's give it up for the dress. Cynthia, Morgan, what do they not have love handles in Miami? Is that a place where love handles don't grow? Because I'm trying to understand why neither one of you have them. And I'm in the gym working my behind off, trying to get these love handles off from behind my sides and whatnot. But give it up for both of the dresses. Cynthia looked beautiful. Morgan had that thigh meat, hip meat, waist meat, arm meat, back, everything out, and I wasn't mad at her. Now, for me, that's more of a vacation dress. I kind of wear that when I'm at the resorts only or something like that. You know, I go ahead and show. Y'all know I don't mind showing no skin, especially when I'm on vacation. I am not one of those girls, okay? If y'all like it, if y'all want it all covered up, don't come around me. On a regular day, yes, but on vacation, baby, I will listen. I don't play around. So anyway, they both look great. Morgan goes to talk to Lyndon. And when Morgan says, now is a good time for me to talk to Lyndon since Tony is gone, absolutely not. That should be a red flag to you, Morgan. But Morgan's aware that all of these things are red flags, but she doesn't care. And I think that's why I'm frustrated with her. I don't like stuff like that because those are the kind of things that you do when you young. Okay, I think that even I have been in situations where I'm like, this probably ain't. I really need to leave this person alone, but, I just like him. I expect that kind of foolishness from young people, men and women. But once you get to a certain point in your life, especially if you're wanting something serious, you can't think like that. Okay, you got to let it go, even if it hurts, even if you're going to feel some pain, even if you're disappointed, because it doesn't align with who you are and the things that are going to work for you, right? So Morgan, on the one hand, wants to address what she needs from a person and what she requires, but she's not really consistent when those things don't necessarily line up to what's going to benefit her in her life. She's not really consistent with it. She thinks she's being consistent with it, but she's not. And I just want to point out, now y'all know I'm a Virgo, so Y'all know we do like to be right. I do want to point out, though, that usually when I call something about somebody early and ready to love, I've very rarely been wrong. And I told you guys some episodes back that I just really didn't feel like Morgan had the maturity that was needed to be dating at the point that she is at in her life. Like, it just doesn't seem mature. She doesn't go about it in a mature way. She thinks laying out everything she requires is being mature, but it's not. Because she doesn't make the decision well. So let me get to it, child. I'm already rambling. So she goes in there to talk to Lyndon. Lyndon is very honest with Morgan about how Morgan had hurt his feelings. He genuinely did not mean for things to go as far as they did at the table. He knew something was going to pop off. He just didn't know he was going to be involved in it. But he does say he did not mean to hurt her. But the way that she treated him and kind of iced him out afterwards, that hurt his feelings. And I understood that. And I was glad that Lyndon admitted that. I was glad that he admitted it. Morgan was very emotional, I think, for various reasons, but she does make the comment that she is finally like seeing the feelings that Lyndon has for her. Like, this is one of the first times she's really seen it. And I actually can agree with Morgan, just based off of what we've seen. I do feel like Lyndon, I told y'all last episode, I'm not really sure if he likes Morgan or not, or if he just wants to win. I thought him and Tony were kind of in the same boat. So this kind of is my first time seeing that, yeah, he might really be effing with her. He might really like Morgan. I just thought he was kind of down to his last couple choices and he was just trying to chill on the show as long as he could. He liked her well enough, but I didn't know how deep his feelings were for her. And I will say that if I was Morgan, I too would have been unsure about where Lyndon's feelings lie. I would have thought that both of us were just kind of playing the game to the end, because that's really what it seemed like between the two of them. But now we're getting like a little bit of a different side. So, this also lets me know that men like crazy women, as I've also said before. But anyway, some men, not all y'all. So anyway, after Lyndon says that Morgan is very emotional, she went in there initially to see where they stood. She went in there initially to talk to him about how maybe their lifestyles didn't align. You know that Lyndon is still in the nightlife and all of those things. Lyndon does, we know he still has a roommate. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with Lyndon, but what I am saying is when you get to a certain status in life, you do kind of like somebody to meet you where you are at. And having your own place, y'all, that's not... I know some people, I don't want to argue about it, y'all, but that's not a lot to ask. In your 30s, that's really not a lot to ask for somebody to have. So anyway, she's just wondering if they line up. Now, when she goes back outside to make her candle with Cynthia and Mark Anthony is getting the tea. The men are very good at this, honey. They just be listening and watching so they can go back and tell. And she's emotional again. She can't get her candle together. So Cynthia is like, let me go over here and talk to her because I would want somebody to do that for me. I want Cynthia to be my homegirl. Can y'all tell? I really do want us to be friends. So she goes and she talks to Morgan about how she's feeling. On the show, it seemed like they were in there for a few minutes, but they actually were in there for a long time. So she's telling Cynthia that she just doesn't know what to do. Lyndon is such a good person. She never meant to hurt him. She never wanted to hurt him. Cynthia understands where she's coming from. However, Cynthia is still a big supporter of, I watch how a man treats me when he's mad. When people are mad, they will really show you how they feel about you. And you have to be accountable for your own heart. Don't break your own heart. So Morgan is still crying. Tony gets wind of the fact from Mark Anthony that Morgan is in there in tears and he wants to understand why. But him understanding why doesn't have anything to do with the fact that he cares about Morgan. Not really. It more so has to do with the fact that is she crying over some other Negro other than me? So he opens the door and he was like, yeah, what's wrong with you? Really? Really? And she was just like, yeah, really? Really? So now her energy is already up. She's already agitated. That's another thing. If I was Cynthia, and she probably said it, I would have told Morgan, you also got to pay attention to how your body feels. A lot of times when we're getting butterflies in our stomach, when we're getting anxious around people, those aren't good signs. Okay. Sometimes you feel like butterflies in your stomach means like love. No, sometimes that's danger, danger, danger. Oftentimes it is. You have to watch how you feel in your body. I remember dating somebody who had a temper. And I remember I told him one time, I said, I don't feel good around you. Like, I feel anxious around you. And he immediately burst out into a bunch of apologies. And I knew then that he knew what kind of energy he was bringing around me. And he knew I was hip to it. And he was trying to kind of give that docile behavior so that he could work his way back in with me. But it didn't work, baby. We was done. Okay? Because I got to pay attention to how I feel in my body around you. Morgan, you immediately got agitated when he came around. Immediately. Your whole energy shifted. He ends up leaving. He's telling Mark Anthony. Not Mark Anthony. Now he's talking to Pratt. And Pratt is just like, you don't know how she feels. He's actually spitting real, game to him. You don't know how she feels. This is a difficult decision for her. You don't know what she's going through, and she's trying to decide, and she doesn't want to hurt anybody. And he's just like, I'm not that though. Like, that's not something, I'm not with all of that. If you want to be with this cat, you in this room for 2 hours crying over this cat, you can let me go. I'm just like, Big Tone, shut up. Shut up. He is getting on my nerves. He's not understanding. I don't think he really cares about this girl. He just wants to win in the end. He wants to be the winner of this whole thing. He don't want to lose to nobody, but he especially don't want to lose to a guy like Lyndon, who he doesn't feel like has the age, the qualifications, the status, the stamina, the masculinity, the alpha maleness that he has. So I don't know how long they were in the room, but I guess eventually they finally do come out because now they're going to have a pajama party. But before I get to this pajama party, let me just say this. Morgan is going through what I see a lot of girls go through. You kind of talk to your homegirls, you vent to your homegirls. Your homegirls see all of the bad traits about somebody because that's what you vented to them about. Then, unbeknownst to your homegirls, there's a softer side to this man that you're dealing with. There's a nice side to him. There's a side that you love. There's a side that you appreciate. There's a side that's gentle with you. And I believe all of those things can be true at once. But the thing is, you done already vented to us about how bad things are, about the bad stuff, about the red flags. So our tempers are up. We don't like this dude. Okay, and so as the viewers, that's kind of what we're seeing out of Tony right now. We don't really get to see Tony's lighter and softer side, or at least we haven't seen it in a while. We don't get to see whatever it is that Morgan is seeing necessarily in Tony that is causing her to make the decisions that she is making. However, like I said, all things can be true. Red flags are red flags. And just because somebody treats you well some of the time does not mean you need to be with them all of the time. Lyndon is giving me nice guys finish last. But again, I told you, I don't really think Lyndon put his feelings out there as much as he should have. But I don't even say nice guys finish last. But he is giving a little bit of that because he didn't do anything wrong. And this also happens sometimes when you're dating. And ladies seem to have a hard time with this. Men, they do a little bit better. They can like a girl. She can be just as sweet. But if she's not compatible with them, she just not compatible. And what they'll do a lot of times, immature men will ghost you. Because they don't want to be the bad guy. But a lot of times with us, we kind of get very in our feelings about it because Lyndon hasn't done anything wrong to her, but she knows they are not compatible. What Morgan needs to do is realize that neither one of them are compatible with you. And that's okay. Will you get some blowback possibly for not picking Lyndon because he's such a nice dude? Maybe. But if y'all aren't, even a nice dude cannot be compatible with you. Okay, just because y'all get along doesn't mean that y'all need to be together. I understand her concerns with Lyndon. What I don't understand is why she doesn't address her concerns with Tony. That's where my frustration is coming in with her. Not the fact that she's not choosing Lyndon, because if you're not compatible, you're not compatible, but you're not compatible with neither one of them. I know I'm going in, y'all, but I got to get this done. So now we can get to this pajama party. Pajama party was cool. Tony went in there and he laid his, I'll tell you, they say evil never sleeps, but apparently it slept quite well that night. He propped up on them pillows just like an old Negro would be, and he knocked out sleep. And that's where he needed to be with his crybaby behind. All he needed was a nap. So he in there asleep. Everybody else gets to enjoy themselves. Morgan even says, now that Tony isn't here, I can let my hair down. I'm just like, girl, oh, she frustrates me. So, the pajama party is cool. Everybody gives their candles away at that time. Jeffrey comes in there. It's giving Fredericks of Hollywood, okay? But she giving out candles that say biblical husband, even though she giving Sodom and Gomorrah. But y'all know I ain't mad because I just told y'all I don't care, Okay, I'll put this body out there on when I want to. So she gives biblical husband his candle, which is Pratt. Then we have, I'm not going in any particular order. Mercedes get a brown sugar candle with a little bit of melon because she's so sweet from Mark Anthony. She gives Mark Anthony, I forgot, something about some Haitian and some islands. I don't really know, but she gives him his candle. Anthony gives Cynthia his candle. Did I take notes on Anthony's candle? Hold on, let me give my notes real quick. Oh, y'all, I didn't get notes on Anthony's candle, but he did. I just know he did give it to Cynthia. Okay, that's what I do know. Then Cynthia gives him a candle back, and she say that she put coffee in it because I want to wake up to you in the morning. I said, girl, you better do that. But how about my girl made a second candle for Pratt with peppermint and rose because she want to give him his flowers. And Anthony was like, wait a minute. I thought we could only make one candle. I was like, nah, when you got two love interests, baby, I do's what I want to do, and you better not get mad at me because I'm doing it right. Okay, I ain't disrespecting y'all. I said, Cynthia, you better do that, girl. Andre made a second candle for Cynthia as well, and Jeffrey. I think Cynthia's candle had something to do with an apple or red because you caught my eye. And then he gives another candle to Jeffrey, which is green because they've given each other access to each other's heart. I think he's going to end up choosing Jeffrey in the end. Cute. I love the candle giving. Morgan get a candle from Lyndon that's got two flames in it because she got two flames so you can light them both. But no, so you need to light one of them. And Morgan's just like, really? And then she picked up Tony's candle and it got a bug in it. And I said, child, if that ain't an old man, even God is trying to tell you something. Listen, God is trying to tell you something. Where's Suge Avery when I need her? So anyway, after the vacation, Mark Anthony and Mercedes go on a date. You know, they the turn up crew. I like them together. They gonna have a lot of fun together. They both in the friendly skies. I think their relationship would actually work because neither one of them are ready to get serious right now as far as like future serious. They're both just interested in dating exclusively, and I think that works for the two of them. Mark Anthony is still fake acting like he got something going on with Jeffrey. Boy, you ain't got nothing going on with Jeffrey. Stop it right now. You and Mercedes been all up on each other this whole trip. I ain't heard you really say nothing about Jeffrey. So, I forgot a part. Sorry, y'all. Let's skip back, okay? That was their date, though. I'm not even going to expound much on that. Back to the house, though. I forgot one part. Tony goes in there. Morgan goes in there to talk to Tony now that he done got a good night's rest. Tony apologizes to Morgan. He says he's passionate when he when he feels passionately about somebody, when he cares about somebody, he can get very passionate. And that's just really where he was at with it, but he knows he shouldn't have behaved that way. Morgan wants to know, is he willing to put the work in when it comes to her? She also asked him, like, what is it that you have to offer me? And he's just like, I'm a protector, I'm a provider. You know, all these buzzwords. I'm a giver. He does say that they share a deeper connection. I did like the fact that he said, I will support you and I will help you. I'm a rock in my family. I'm a nurturer. I'll give you what you need. Those are the things that Morgan wanted to hear, apparently. She loves his assertiveness, but he needs to have a way to turn it off when she needs him to do that. So she says that she's glad that this whole apology that Tony gave, that all of this is going to work, because if it hadn't worked, then she wouldn't. What are you talking about, more? None of this works. When you got somebody back up against the wall, when they know they have wronged you and they know you about to switch it up on them, they'll say almost anything to get you back in their good graces. And I know you know that, baby, because you're closer to 40 than you are to 30, and we know better. Come on here now. I'm yelling at y'all. I'm sorry. So that happened at the house. This is a bad decision, you guys. A bad decision. I said I wasn't going back to Mark Anthony and Mercedes dates. It was cute. They played two truths and a lie. Very nice. Blake decides with nephew Tyler Perry that he gonna go ahead and go. He gonna go ahead and get on because him and Sue got their connection, and you know he ain't got no other connection. So I'm not gonna even talk too much about that. Blake is gone. We knew he was gonna be gone. Okay, I would sing a little bit of Jesus is Real, but we don't have time. Then they go to nephew Tyler Perry because they need to talk about what happened at the house. Cynthia does feel like she got a lot closer with Anthony, and she did. Okay, they connected a little differently. And then Jeffrey feels like she got a lot closer still to her biblical husband, but Mark Anthony is still in her in her top as well. Mercedes definitely got closer with Mark Anthony, cleared things up with Anthony. And Morgan says that Tony is a great man and her strongest connection, but Lyndon is her safe place. I said, I bet you, I'm about to cuss some more, y'all. I'll be damned. You're not going to do that. Well, that's what you're not going to do. You're not going to treat Lyndon like he's your comfort zone and your fallback man. No, now don't nobody deserve that. Now you're going to have to make a decision. We getting down to the wire. Even nephew Tyler Perry is just like, what are the red flags, Morgan? Like, are we getting rid of somebody that might be actually good for you? And I like what Cynthia had to say about Lyndon and Tony. She was like, I'd rather right now eliminate Lyndon because I don't want to see a nice guy get hurt. And I also would say, I would like to eliminate Tony because I don't like the way he treats Morgan when he gets mad. Morgan started caping for Tony, talking about, well, there's another side that you don't see to him, and we're in this situation that's not necessarily orthodox, and I think he deserves grace. And even with nephew Tyler Perry, she's just like, the heart wants what the heart wants. I know that me and Lyndon communicate well, but, me and Tony have a stronger connection, and I don't want to keep talking about it. See, that defensiveness lets me know that you a fool. You just gonna go with it because it feels good in the moment. I've done it. I know other women have done it, and it's just not a good decision in the long term because when it all goes down, it all goes down. Now, see, anytime that I've done it, I've known that when it goes down, I got to own that because I already knew what was about to happen. But Morgan, you strike me as the type that's going to try to play the blame game when you already saw the writing was on the wall, baby. Y'all, I'm trying not to yell, but I've been yelling this whole review. So I like that nephew Tyler Perry said, you know what, you gonna do it. You gonna go talk to Lyndon. And when she goes to talk to Lyndon, it's the same stuff I've been said. They not compatible. Lyndon is not where she would like a man in her life to be, but neither is Tony. Not when it comes to his emotional maturity. Maybe on paper, Tony is good, but emotional, no, he's not. Lyndon might be great emotionally, but on paper, he ain't got himself together. You see what I'm saying, y'all? You can't always get what you want. That is exactly how I feel with Morgan. But this is the thing, baby. You ain't got to choose neither one of them. You can say ain't neither one of these gonna work. But she gonna stick with Tony. She gonna stick beside him. She gonna stick beside him because apparently this is how she like to feel right now, child. I don't know what Tony done did to this girl. I don't know what it is, or maybe it's toxic meets toxic. Maybe what they call that? Are they trying to get their twin flames on? Not that twin flames got to do with being toxic, but you know what I mean. So they decide that it's not gonna work between the two of them. She does ask Lyndon where he is right now. And she was like, do you feel like you are a provider and a protector? And he was just like, do you feel like he's those things? And see, that let me know some stuff about Lyndon too. Don't focus on Tony. She asking you, are you those things? And he says, no, he's not, not right now. Okay. All right, cool. So they get up, they do share a kiss. I could tell this was hurting her to let him go just because, not because she feels for him, because she feels bad that she's hurting somebody that hasn't done anything to her. I've had to do it before. Other women have had to do it. Men have had to do it. It does hurt because you're not a bad person. You just not compatible for me, but neither is Tony. Anyway, you guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what y'all thought about this review. Child, she too grown for this. They all too grown for this. I got to get back into work because I'm too grown for this. Y'all have a nice day, and I'll see y'all for the next one, okay? All right. Bye.